Hey everyone, welcome back to Automation. So in one of my last videos, I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point, I made this shoe car and then I kind of duplicated it so that this giant man here, or giant robot thing, was wearing two shoes. And I said in that video that I wanted to make a skateboard, so that is what I'm going to be doing today. But before we get into that, I want to show you something that I find really funny. This person here has bought a Bugo sticker from my store, automotiveflux.com, where I ship them out worldwide for free in they're $5 US each. And they have applied it to their own longboard, and now I'm taking inspiration from that and making a shoe in automation. You see how this stuff works? Because I really don't. And before we get into this, I just wanted to say, if you like this channel and you like the way things are going, be sure to like this video and subscribe. I'm gonna keep making stuff like this. So let's go into the skateboard. So the body that I used for the shoe was this 1990 coupe. It's basically an open wheel F1 style car. Or Formula style car. That's what I'm going to be using for the skateboard as well, I think. The thing with the skateboard obviously is that the wheelbase needs to be thin and it needs to be very long, so hopefully we can use the scale of the coupe here to be able to do that. And the good part about this is that it has a ton of different options for wheel sizes, which can give us a good perspective. Alternatively, we could use an SUV or something that's really long, but 2.9 meters should be enough. And with that, we start off here. Again, same principles as I was using for the shoe. I want this to actually drive, so we're going to be going as light as possible and ignoring all sense of realism. So if I can find it, and I have a lot of engines, so this might be a very significant challenge, I'm going to try and reuse the engine from the Vans shoes, and I believe they're literally just called Vans shoes. So here we go, hundreds of engines to go through. Oh goodness, I found it, except there are two. Hold on a minute. Okay, Run literally is the right engine. Yeah, so we'll use this one. Okay, so I just made a quick variant of this engine that literally has extreme compression and 231 horsepower, no turbos or anything, just a nice intake and a bit of a knot for a header. But other than that, it should be decent, not trying to go too crazy here. This build is all about the design and really not so much about the engine, so it just needs to be able to move. That's literally it. So for the body, basically what I'm going to be doing is coloring it a transparent color, so we're not going to see it in BeamNG, and we don't have to worry about it at all. I can hide the chassis separately. I might actually just leave it, and we might be able to work it out the same way that we did with the shoe. But for now, we need to hide the body. Easy way to do that is literally just make a new color, go down to transparent, and it's gone, at least for the most part. Trim, same thing. We need to make a new paint, make the trim transparent, although you'll see there are still some things in there that we can't get rid of. And the wheels, we could also technically make them transparent, I guess, but we're going to try to pick out some like skateboard looking wheels, and for those purposes they're going to be white, just pure white. Although that being said, the wheels themselves on skateboards are generally colored, and then the interior pieces would be like silver because it'd be bearings and stuff, but yeah, we'll go for the opposite because we can't change tire colors, so this is as good as it's going to get for now. Okay, the most important part is in here, and I don't think a skateboard is going to be too difficult. I still have to pull up a picture of one so I don't miss any details, but yeah, I do think that I should be able to make something reasonable relatively quickly, but I'm going to jump ahead on purpose. Okay, just for fun, just because the shoe was a bit of a disaster in terms of its drivability, I'm going to make this all-wheel drive, and we'll give it a sequential transmission just for fun, and I'll just skip through a lot of this because we'll come back to it later. Okay, so the wheels are extremely important, and we kind of need to make them small, because I feel at this point they might be a little bit too big. We'll have to see. I guess what we can do is we can pretend that this is an electric skateboard, because there's going to be a lot of carbon fiber underneath it, and there's not much I can do about that, so yeah. Also, you'll notice that there is a drive shaft sticking directly out of the bottom of the engine. That is elegant, my goodness. So I'm going to make the wheels themselves, or I guess the rims, extremely small, which means that, well, the brakes are also going to be extremely small, so we might not be able to stop, and I'm just going to take some time to lower these down as well. Looks like 500 is as small as we can get, and that is pretty small, so hopefully we can do something with that. And width here is probably not a bad thing. That'll help with wheel spin and such, but we'll do that to the look. Obviously, width is important as well. We do have a lot of options with this body to be able to go as pretty much as wide as we want to. So I'm just going to leave them out there, and we'll tuck them in as necessary. I think that might be out a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much. Ride height is important, so I've actually raised it all the way up. At least for now, we'll kind of see where that takes us. Again, we can always come back and adjust this, but I wanted to have this stuff laid out as a baseline. Okay, time for the fun part, time for the scary part. Scary is also fun sometimes, depending on your view of things. Let's hide the, well, we don't exactly need the body anymore, it's already kind of gone. And we'll hide the chassis as well, and kind of come up with something from here, keeping in mind that this chassis does rise above the engine just a little bit. But skateboards are really not that thick, so yeah. Okay, so I'm going to be making what I would consider to be the most basic skateboard. If you get a super basic skateboard from Walmart, it's basically just flat, like it has no like up on the back ends of things. I don't know any skateboard terminology. I'm a fake skater, okay? I honestly have no idea how to skateboard, and I am terrible at it. I always have been, but that doesn't mean I can't try in game. So I'm going to be designing it to be semi-basic. It will have a little bit of a lip on the back as a goal. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a lip in the center as some of them have, but we will try to do trucks. We will try to do a design on the bottom, and we will definitely have grip tape as well, which may or may not have some things on it, because there are a lot of anime stickers in this game, and I really like to use them on things. So let's get into this. The first basic shape that we need is a rectangle. Yeah, so, oh man. So there are advanced settings and stuff that I can use here to make this easier for me, including snap to angles and such. Snap to angle is actually extremely useful, so we will leave that on, but all this other stuff I'm not too worried about. The goal here is going to be to take this, put it into 3D, slim it down as much as reasonable, and then kind of make my own basic skateboard shape. Now what I'm going to do to try and get an angled piece in the middle is I'm actually going to have 3 of these, so this is just one of 3. And covering the engine, it looks like our board is going to be a monster truck because it's going to be huge. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to scale this properly, and that's probably the most difficult part, is just attempting to make it so it looks reasonable. I can say that about literally everything I make. So length of this rectangular piece is extremely important, because what I want to do is put 3 of these on here and then have the circle pieces come out the front. So I have to nail this the first time, basically, in order to get it accurately lined up. And I'm reasonably close to where I want to be. I'll show you what I'm doing though. Skip forward in time a little bit here. Maybe a longboard would have been a better call, but at this point I'm kind of committed. Okay, so here's my plan. Basically, let me hide that garbage. What I'm gonna do is just kind of tilt these a little bit and bring them up just a tiny bit until that lines up roughly. And then that's going to be our board base, because I know they do have a concave structure in the middle. A little bit weird, but we're getting there, okay? It's going to be huge. Okay, so I have created an issue for myself, and I tend to do that often. This is what I'm thinking for the board end, or potentially a different version of this, just because it feels like it kind of fits perfect. And you'll see with my fancy concaveness that it doesn't quite line up with my proposed board end, which is unfortunate. So it might not be the smoothest of transitions, but it'll hopefully transition. That's the goal. Okay, that's pretty sweet actually. It lines up, but there is a bit of a gap there. I think the only way we're going to be able to get rid of that is with the grip tape, which is going to be an interesting thing all on its own. Okay, so that kind of looks like a skateboard, doesn't it? I feel like the wheels are a bit fat, but there isn't much I can do about that at this point. I can't go negative or anything. Maybe we can turn this down 250-ish, but yeah. That's actually not terrible, except for the lips there. That is really not bad. I wanted to make it concave like that just because I thought it would be cool, and now I have to deal with the consequences. But we're not quite done yet. Let's put some grip tape on it. So my idea for grip tape is fairly simple, and that is literally just, I'm going to take one of these, I'm going to raise it up higher, and it's going to be a copy of the one underneath it, except exceptionally thin and with a new paint, I guess. In fact, it's going to be wrinkle black, and that'll hopefully look a little bit more realistic, kind of. It's fine. And now the trick here is going to be to make these exceptionally thin and maybe even kind of undo some of my work a little bit by turning them a lot. Oh no, I'm totally screwing this up and making it flat even though I didn't really intend to do that. It's kind of man. Oh well, whatever. It's coming along. It's working, kind of, maybe a little bit. Okay, so that's what it looks like with grip tape. Kind of undid a lot of my work there, but that's okay. Let's make these have tape as well, except this is going to be exceptionally thin. Alright, that actually looks pretty darn good. One thing I have not done yet, and I just realized that it's a bit of a mistake for me to forget about this, but I haven't made a wood grain for the board itself, which is kind of important, so I'm going to do that real quick. Unfortunately, we don't have anything wood grain, and carbon, I guess, kind of looks like garbage. I mean, I guess, do some people want carbon fiber skateboards? I mean, probably a few, but I guess we'll just go paint and very, very low shine and flake, and we'll just try to come up with something wood colored in the advanced here. I wish I could give it some texture, but I don't think I can. However, that is pretty close, maybe just a little bit lighter. It's kind of a sand color, but it should work. Alright, skateboard base, at least mostly done. We do need to add the trucks now. That's kind of my main focus. And obviously that's going to just be the axles with a few more pieces. One thing I forgot to do on the last one was put an exhaust on, so it just kind of hung around really awkwardly. So I'm just going to quickly do that here. Okay, so that's the skateboard part of the skateboard complete. It looks okay. We haven't done any design on it or anything, and it very much looks like a Walmart skateboard, so I don't think I'm going to be hired by Birdhouse anytime soon. It also has no designs or anything interesting on it, so I feel like there's more work for us to do here, which is fine. I'm willing to do that work, so let's get through it. First things first is going to be the rims. I do want to make it look at least mildly like a skateboard rim. They don't exactly have rims, but we can try. It basically just has a nut or like bearings essentially in there. It's going to be a little bit difficult to find something for, because I don't think many wheels are built the same way. Although we could totally do white walls, that would be kind of funny. Okay, so I've messed up the wheels a little bit, and they are now gray and also white, just to give them a little bit less of a, I don't know, they were just a little bit too obvious against the rest of the board. Now the front end of it is floating, so I guess we're playing Back to the Future here, but the back end is also floating if you take out the engine, which I will for this next thing that we're going to do, because what I want to do is make some trucks, kind of, the best that I can. Now, trucks are a weird shape. It's essentially just an axle, and we kind of have a setup for it already on the front and the back, but I don't think that anything really directly correlates to that, so I'm just going to make a couple quick pieces, slap them together, and then that'll be that. Nice steel, easy stuff. Okay, so that's a skateboard truck there. It kind of fits directly into the engine compartment, which is always great, and it has an unusually high piece here, but that's just because the wheels are so low. Actually, I can totally fix that, can't I? Hey, that's better. Man, why didn't I think of that earlier? Okay, round 2 of this, it actually looks quite a bit better now. The car being lowered was a big advantage, and it doesn't have portal axles anymore, which is always a bonus. Okay, so that's it for the trucks, and it's time to add some designs to it. We could go for some more typical skateboard stuff of just like weird, I don't know, skulls and crossbones. Am I showing my age? But we could probably put on any kind of design, and obviously because am just a bad person. I have a ton of anime stickers in this game, and I feel like I should probably use them. This girl kind of looks like the Grim Reaper, so I figure that she's probably a good match for our build here. The only problem is it won't show in beamng, which is sad, so we'll just have to get over that and attempt to make the thing massive and also 3D so we can make it just ridiculously huge. Oh no. Hold on, let me make that clear for you. Yes, this is what we're working with. So I don't know whose art this is, but I am thankful for it. Mostly because I can use it for this type of horribleness. So yes, thank you, I appreciate it. I will continue to use your pieces of art for nebulous works. Okay, so we have Grim Reaper looking anime lady on... Does she have a... Oh my goodness, okay, she has a crown as well, that's great. So we have Grim Reaper lady over here, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we kind of need a design to fill in the rest of the board from underneath. Okay, so I found this like tentacle monster version thing, and I figure that's probably dark enough and edgy enough to go on a skateboard, so that's exactly what I'm going to do if it'll fit. We just kind of have to line it up in here. You know, that's actually not too bad. I think it's going to be fine. So the game crashed midway through me placing this, which is hilarious. But also kind of concerning because I don't want to lose this whole build over this one stupid sticker. I swear I've been ruining every one of my builds recently with this, but it's fun, so I'm going to continue to do so. And with that, I think we have a design on the board, and that's going to be it for the skateboard design because it's very difficult to place things underneath there, and hopefully nobody actually sees this stuff anyways. Just picture it like this, right? You're grinding rails and stuff, and it's just burning this image off the board. That's exactly what you want. Same thing back here, just burning the image off the board. That's the idea. So there's a skateboard for you, and let's get on to the rest of it. So in terms of the drivetrain, apparently it'll do 424 kilometers an hour, which is insane. So we'll see if that's actually possible or not. Apparently the engine is fairly decent. No wheel spin to worry about. It does have slick tires, so I think I got that sorted out. 250 in the front and the back. Those feel like a decent width. I wish I could bring them in just a touch, but overall it's fine. So that'll be fine. I'm not super concerned about the graph here. It can just be whatever. Same thing with the rest of this. Wheel sizes are based on our design and nothing else. And the brakes are actually looking to be relatively strong, which is good, so we can tone the back ones down a little bit, maybe tone the front ones down a little bit too. Aerodynamics, I mean, it is a skateboard, so it's relatively aerodynamic. It's long and thin, and yeah, that's good enough. And I just gave it one seat and stuff. I just want to make it light, and I gave it traction control just for fun. But everything else is just very quickly done. Now theoretically this thing should have extremely stiff suspension, so I'm giving it a race preset, and I'm kind of just not going to go past that. So race preset it is. Alright, that's what it looks like, and that's what it's going to be. Let's take some pictures of it and then export it to beamng, get rid of the chassis and stuff, and see what it'll do versus the roller skates, which are weird, but hopefully going to be competition for this. I really want to try and do some stunts. I don't think it's going to be super good, but it's worth a try. So I kind of figured as a reminder of what the past has been like that I would show you the shoe that I made 2 weeks ago. In its current glory, nothing has changed. It's the same shoe as it was before. Same base engine is what we're working with the skateboard, although it's a little bit different overall. Maybe not as high quality. This was a much more difficult thing to make, and I think that's fairly obvious. It looks okay, but I don't know. The skateboard is cooler. So let's do some sick tricks because I've got a bit of a surprise for you. After I launch this off a ramp sideways, maybe we'll go on a marathon afterwards. Okay, so here's what the skateboards look like in birdhouse, and there's my surprise. Maybe not too surprising, but I put a guy on it so it would actually be skateboarding. Unfortunately, a few things. Well, the anime babes have decided to become gigantic white squares, which is understandable. They don't want to be part of BeamNG, and I don't blame them. Something weird has happened where the game is not giving the tires any friction value. I did mess with the JBeam file, so I might have messed something up. That's very, very likely. So it doesn't currently move, but I will fix that for the purposes of this video. I just wanted to show you what it looks like with the texture on the top. The wood grain is not exactly a grain, it's just a solid color because I made it that way. But everything else looks really good, and I'm very happy with it. The engine sticking out is whatever, and that's the cockpit from the F1 car. Probably a better body would be better for this, but in the end, this is how I chose to make it, so this is how it is. I'm gonna fix it real quick, and then we're gonna take the skateboarding lad up there for a bit of a drive. Oh my goodness, so I added the chassis back, yeah, with J-beam, and it still has no traction, so it literally doesn't work. If anybody has any insight into this, that would be great, because I'm very disappointed. Oh man, okay. Well, we have some things that we can do to make it drive, kind of, so we're going to do those. And first things first here, turn off the engine. We'll just put ESC on there, actually, and we'll leave the car in neutral because I'm going to be pulling it around instead. Hopefully that'll actually work. Okay, so I've done something where I have coupled this car to the skateboard. The reason that I coupled this one in particular was because I thought it would be low enough to go under the skateboard, but I was entirely wrong. So now we just have a skateboard pulling vehicle of some kind. I have not tested this at all, but it does appear to be working. Although we're losing tires and stuff at the moment. It's only a 25% grip, so it's not even that strong. How the heck is this even possible? Okay, attempt 2. This time I hooked it up a little bit higher, hoping for more success this time and not popping wheels and such. But all I want to do is take this skateboard off of a ramp. Please, oh please, let's just hit some fat ramp. That's literally all we need. And oh wow. This is not going to work out, is it? Okay, I have another idea. This one's arguably worse. Okay, so this took a while, but I have attached the farm truck to the trailer, and I was hoping that it would actually drive it forwards, but apparently it won't. Oh my goodness. This is failing beyond any sort of comprehension. Okay, I got it to work. There is a ridiculous node spike that's sticking out from there, but yeah, we officially have a functional trailer, and we can pretend that we're towing the... Oh my goodness, this truck is not powerful enough. Hold on a minute. Okay, I got a bit of a faster truck. This is probably a job for a 2500, but I'm using a 1500. It's fine. Yeah, okay, let's just pretend as we hit some sick, nasty air off the half pipe. Wow, this is really not performing as well as I'd hoped it would. These trucks are apparently very, very slow, but this might be enough. 88 kilometers an hour, that is not going to be enough. Oh my goodness, back to the drawing board again. Engine, 6.9 liter V8, and it feels like it has nothing. Let's do that. Let's put nitrous on it. Stage 3 performance, let's put a supercharger on this, why not? Now, I did not adjust the radiator in this, so, oh my goodness, it is wheel spin city. Come on, we just need speed. That's all I want. I just want speed. Okay, if this thing can't pull it with 4-wheel drive and a big V8, then I don't know what is going to be able to do it. And so, with that, a sick ramp round 7, I'm gonna have to turn around a little bit to build up some speed, but I'm gonna get there. That's the goal. Speed is what we need. It better get up that ramp. Come on. Oh my goodness, it's topping out at the RPM now. Why are all of these trucks slow? Oh man, I'm so dumb. Okay. If I can't do a sick ramp with this the proper way, then it has to be done the improper way. And that means 94 kilometers an hour is literally all we can do. Oh my goodness. It's possible that I messed up the settings of the car and made it just wickedly heavy, and that's why it's all broken and stuff. I'm very curious about that, so after we get up this ramp, if we get up this ramp, that's what I'm going to test. Oh, and back down. Oh, that was beautiful. That was very, very beautiful. So with this massive angel that we've created, I'm just going to call it a day here. The truck over there is likely driving away, but I've kind of determined that it has no problem. with the trailer, but it's still slow, and I guess that's just my fault for picking the wrong truck 3 times in a row. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As I said at the beginning, if you're liking this kind of content, be sure to subscribe, like this video, comment something down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this skateboard. If you're a skateboarder of some kind, let me know how I did. And yeah, I'll see you guys again next time. But first, let's check out what this truck is doing. I'm honestly quite curious. I kind of thought it would be dead in a horrible fire, so I'm gonna do that for it now. Except the game is broken, and I can't drive. Hey, I just want to say thank you to those who have chosen to support this channel, specifically the advanced supporters. You guys are great. Things have not been amazing the last week, but I'm trying to turn things around, not necessarily with the channel, but with just life in general. But you guys are good in supporting. I always appreciate it. I have to come up with new ways to say that every video, but the reality is that's just kind of the baseline. But we have Overlord, QT Bear, Terry Williams, GA Pope, Davis Heister, I got it that time, The German Dude, Mickey K1, Sleep64, Childish Sin, Jug MBH, Antisocial, and Jared. Thank you guys for your support. I'll see all of you and more next time.